You're listening to the Sports Fix. We're talking to Joe TAIT. We're talking about Cleveland's Finest by Vince McKee. Joe, of your time with the Indians, what would you put as your favorite time there, of the time that you covered the Indians? Because I know in here, one of the chapters was about Lenny Barker and his perfect game. Where would you put that in your time with the Tribe?
Well, Lenny Barker's perfect game was something else because he was so overpowering. You began to realize in the middle innings that unless somebody screwed up behind him and made an error, Toronto was not going to touch him. I mean, those guys were looking for a place to hide by the seventh inning when he was whipping that curveball in there. And Herb Score, a man with whom I worked for 7 years and taught me more baseball than I could possibly have learned any other place. Even Herbie in the middle innings was saying, "We've got something good going here. We're gonna probably see history made tonight, unless somebody commits an error behind him, because Lenny's not gonna." And but I did 3 no-hitters over the years, and the one that I remember most fondly was in 1974. Dick Bosman, who was at the end of his career in the closing years, threw a no-hitter at the Oakland A's, who were the defending world champions, and I loved it. And I gave him a copy of that broadcast, and I have talked to him since that time, and he still has it. And it was great to see a guy like that rise up from a journeyman's career and have that kind of a great moment.
I'm just curious, for my own interest, Joe, of all the guys you've come across with over the years, the different people you've interacted with since your retirement, how many do you still stay in touch with, or do they still reach out to you?
Dwayne Kuiper, we exchanged Christmas cards. That's it. I'll run into Manning once in a while, of course, because he's still doing TV for the Indians, but infrequently. And Lenny Barker infrequently. He's the baseball coach out at what's the name of the school on the east side? One of those newly formed schools. I don't remember now, but not a lot of them. Not a lot of them. And basketball, I'll run into Brad Doherty next week, this thing I'm doing with the WKNR, and I haven't seen Brad since he left and has become what I consider, and I know nothing about automobile racing, but I've sat and watched him work. And even though I don't know what the heck he's talking about, I realize this guy knows what he's talking about, and he is presenting it very well to people who do know what he's talking about. I think his transition from basketball player to analyst in another sport is tremendous. I'm very, very impressed.
Yeah, he's got a huge love for that. It was funny last night. It got brought up with a couple of us over in the media box because Andrew Bynum said that if he wasn't playing basketball, he wants to be a NASCAR driver. He loves NASCAR, and I'm like, Brad Doherty Part 2, here it comes. What's up with these big 7-foot-tall centers that want to race cars when they're done playing basketball? But yeah, Brad definitely with that. I didn't want to interrupt you. Notre Dame College is where Lenny Barker's the pitcher.
There you go. Thank you much.
And yeah, absolutely. But yeah, that's funny that you brought that up too. So I was just curious, because I know you said when you get away, so I didn't know how many people, perhaps still keep in touch with you.
No, the only regular exchange is Christmas cards with Kuiper, and if I see anybody else, it's, more or less by accident.
That's funny. It's feast or famine with all the different guys, the guys that have played over the years. Some of them, it's like what you said, and some of them, it's they stay in touch with everybody. So I think it's one or the other. Joe, it's been so good. I could talk to you forever. Last time I had you, we talked for about 2 hours. But Cleveland's Finest is the book, and I know, like I said, you're featured in several chapters. But not just that. There's tons. Like you talk about Mount Union on the high school level. You know, St. Ignatius, a local dynasty. He did a chapter on Chuck Kyle. He reached back into hockey history, talked about some Barons hockey. He covered a lot of the Crunch and their championship, a lot of different eras of Cleveland sports outside of perhaps the main ones that have been told. I thought that was a good thing.
And that's
too.
what makes that book good, because he does go places that more times than not people don't go. And he explores those areas or the people in those areas. And that's what makes that book interesting.
Yep, it's not just the drive and the fumble, and it's the people, right. The fans, the media. I love it.
Jerry, it was good talking to you, and I wish you and yours happy holidays and continued success.
The same to you. Joe Tate, thank you so much for joining us.
Righto.
All right, guys, that's going to do it. What did you think? Wanted to save something really special for today. It's Christmas Eve, and those of you that were going to give up any portion of your day here to join the show, I knew it couldn't just be any old best of. I wanted to pull out something really good. The Night with Joe Tate that you heard in the first part of today's show from WHK, that is to this day one of still the most requested shows, one of the most requested replays that we have, one of the highest listened to of everything we've done, downloaded. People still go back to this day and listen to it. So I wanted to throw that one out there, especially for a lot of you newcomers. This year there's been a lot of newcomers along the way, and then the other one is new to a lot of people that haven't joined us in the last year as well. I wanted to get both of those to you, and I thought Joe Tate, perfect encapsulation of one of the best to come, not only from Cleveland, but period, to do what he does. And hopefully you guys enjoyed that audio today and everything that we've done this week. Remember, tomorrow, Christmas Day, we're not going to be live because we want you. We're going to do the same thing. Enjoy the day. Remember what it's about. Do Christmas, not the holiday, by the way. Christmas. Merry Christmas. Christmas, Christmas, Christmas. If that offends you, I don't know. Hopefully it doesn't offend you. If it does, too bad. Merry Christmas to you, too. You need to step under some mistletoe, and somebody needs to kiss you, and you maybe won't turn into a frog because it's Christmas. But anyways, we're going to be live post-Christmas Friday, live as live can be. Jonathan Knight, sports writer extraordinaire. Jeff Gorman from Browns101.com with a Ravens preview. Ryan Ruiz of Dog Pound Nation with his 3 dog bones. BJ Riddell with some fantasy football for winners because it is championship week. I am taking on Mike Brandaberry from DidTheTribeWinLastNight.com for the championship ring and the consolation bracket. We've got a championship belt. Vashawn McLovin taking on Mike Majeski for the Sports Fix FantasyJocks.com championship title belt this weekend. We'll talk about that live on Friday. A whole lot more to go. I don't know. We're going to see who else. John McMullen may join us. A lot of people this week since we haven't been live. We'll see. It's going to be a jam-packed, chock full of goodness edition. Post-Christmas apocalypse edition of the Sports Fix coming your way this Friday live. Thank you guys very much for being with us. Enjoy tonight. It's Christmas Eve. Enjoy tomorrow. Spend time with your family, with your friends. Do what you do, whatever it is. You don't need to hear a speech from me. Enjoy it. Do it. Remember what it's all about. And come back here on Friday, and then we'll have some fun. Guys, Merry Christmas, or whatever else you celebrate. Happy holidays to you too. But to the rest of you normal people, Merry Christmas. I shouldn't say that. You're not normal if you don't say Merry Christmas. I just like you better if you do. So Merry Christmas, and we'll see you Friday live right here on the Sports Fix.
Hey, Sports Fix listeners, this is Jonathan Knight, Cleveland Sports Gadfly, wishing you a fantastic holiday season. And as we've been saying since 1965, this is our year. Happy holidays, Cleveland.